It's November 12, 1941. Japanese armies surround the center of Shanghai. With war closing in and Pearl Harbor just weeks away, 20,000 people gathered in the center of the city to watch a horse race, cheering and shouting in dozens of languages, while Shanghai teetered on the edge of catastrophe. Within months, a place that had been a crossroads of nations and cultures would withdraw into itself for decades. I'm James Carter, author of Champions Day, the story of the last days of Old Shanghai. Shanghai was China's busiest port, a blending of West and East, administered since the 1840s by European and American men, yet like many world cities on the fringes of the British Empire, it was defined not only by racism, but also by something new, an internationalism embraced and reinvented by Chinese and interracial elites. Artists, like Ying Tang, an actress whose invitation to be a leading lady on Broadway fell apart in scandal, and architect Dong Dao, who returned from abroad to design Shanghai's new Art Deco city center. And at the middle of all this was a racetrack. The Shanghai Race Club, the heart of a cosmopolitan city, and the place to be on Champions Day, when the city's fastest horses raced for a title. Racist colonialism denied Chinese membership in the club, but the sport had nonetheless been adopted by Chinese and Europeans alike. Of the thousands who flooded the racetrack on Champions Day, perhaps 3/4 of them were Chinese. Coming to the starting line that afternoon was Hindhead, two-time defending champion, led by Arthur Henchman, the jittery, dynamic manager of HSBC, the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, and Phantom, whose owner Cornell Franklin hoped to be the first American to win the Champions, some consolation for losing his wife to William Faulkner a few years before, and the favorite, Cluny House, owned by a Scottish steamship engineer. While 10 horses raced for glory, other gatherings highlighted Champions Day as the end of an era. While architect Dong Dao watched the races, his city center hosted Japanese occupiers and their Chinese collaborators. A mile west of the racetrack, Liza Hardoon, a half-Chinese, half-French woman who died the wealthiest woman in Asia, was laid to rest in an elaborate funeral that combined Buddhist and Jewish elements and attracted reporters from across the world. What lessons can we learn from a place that blended cultures and countries to make something that was greater than the sum of its parts? Shanghai is once again at the forefront of international finance, a centerpiece of global business, but facing an uncertain future. This time, the threat is not encroaching imperial armies, but trade wars, xenophobia, and now pandemic. China has prospered when it looks outward, and Shanghai has long been a pivot between China and the West. Is the World of Champions Day a model for a cosmopolitan Shanghai that will flourish once again, or a relic of internationalism whose day is past? Champions Day is available June 16, 2020 from W.W. Norton, wherever books are sold.